As far as I'm concerned, there's 6 biggest mistakes people make on their resume. The first one is the layout. Seriously, you've got to get the layout right. At the end of the day, it's got to be crisp, it's got to be clear, it's got to be something that someone can follow and read. Because if they can't read it, it's like, what's this all about? Put a jigsaw puzzle together and try to work out someone's resume. That doesn't cut the mustard. No one's going to do that. You really need to make sure that it's crisp, it's clear, and people can follow exactly your message, what you're trying to deliver. So they need to see about your history, they need to see who you are. All that information needs to be structured and in a nice, clear manner. That way, they'll tend to read it. They'll be interested in it and they'll read it. The other big mistake that I like to suggest to people all the time is your cover letter. Are you sending a real cover letter designed specifically for every job that you're doing? Because if you're not, you're making a huge mistake. Huge mistake. The very first thing a HR department does is they look at your cover letter. And if it's not directed to them and that job, well, they're not even going to look at your resume. So you've got to structure your cover letter and it's got to have a little bit of power in it. So someone's actually interested and they're going to read your cover letter and want to read your resume. So you've got to get that right. That's a big mistake people make. There's a lot of people out there that get their cover letters and they got a generic cover letter. They do to whom it may concern, please find my application attached. And then they go apply, send, apply, send, apply, send, and they smash out all these resumes and apply for all these jobs, and they wonder why no one's even ringing them back. I can tell you now, they're not ringing you back because you haven't got a good, strong cover letter that's designed for that job. So you must have one. It's essential. As far as I'm concerned, when it comes to your actual resume itself, there's only 3 types of resumes out there. One's a really, really crappy one. Some people have a okay resume, just okay, that'll do sort of thing. And then there's an outstanding resume. The people that have the outstanding resumes, they're the ones that are getting all the phone backs. They're the ones that people are contacting saying, let's bring you in for an interview. Because your resume is like selling yourself. You really have to sell yourself on a piece of paper. So you've got to spend some time to get that right. Sit down with your resume, sit down in a quiet location and actually put a lot of effort into getting it right. You're going to use this piece of paper time and time again, every time you apply for the job for the rest of your life. So get it right now so you're on the right track. Because you might be getting a job now, but in a couple of years' time when it's time to apply for another job, you're going to have to start all over again. So spend the time now, get it right and give yourself every chance you can to get that job. That's a big mistake people make. It's huge. Now, what I want to tell you too is another mistake that people make with their resume is, how do you talk about yourself? How do you talk about yourself in words so you sound skilled and so you sound like you've got the best skills? You've got to describe your skills. You've got to talk about yourself, because it's like a marketing tool. Your resume is your marketing tool to sell yourself. People find that really, really hard to praise themselves for their achievements in their career. It is difficult to do that, but you've got to be able to structure sentences and put things together so you can shine in your resume. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of the achievements that you've got. You are good, you are important, and you have achieved a lot. Your resume's got to reflect that. That's going to give you a bigger chance of someone bringing you in for an interview. So the big mistake here is people find that really difficult to write about themselves. So you need to focus on that and work out how you can do that. Another mistake that I want to talk to you about is transferable skills. It doesn't matter what industry you've been in. At the end of the day, if you've been in every industry that you've ever worked in, every training course that you've ever done, every coaching that anyone's ever given you, that has developed your personal skills. There's not an industry out there that those skills can't be transferred into. So people make this big mistake on their resume. They think they can only apply for jobs where they've worked in that industry before. But that's wrong. We can transfer all your skills into any industry that you want to be in. If you've worked in hospitality all your life and now you're sick of it and you want to get a job in administration, for example, we can transfer all of those skills that you learned in hospitality to become a fantastic administration person. You just got to word it right. And people get stuck on this all the time. It's really difficult to transfer those skills over and start applying for jobs in admin. So if you're just leaving your resume all about hospitality, 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 and you're applying for jobs out there in a really big admin office, for example, to be a receptionist, and you're not getting answers back, it's because you're not telling them what skills you've got that can work for their company. So we can do that simply by structuring a really good summary, a really good story about yourself. And you need to do this. These are the important things to help make your resume outstanding for every job you apply for. These are the big mistakes people make all the time, and they're actually not hard to fix. They're really simple. It's all a matter of changing the words around to suit the application that you're doing and to make your resume outstanding. That's what the important bit is, and it's really easy to do. I can show you how. If you're interested to know how, if you want me to help you, click on the button